he's been playing quite a lot?
Yeah, the reality is we don't. We feel Yaku's better in the middle of the field. You saw him get the poach last week. Is great in the tram. Our 8, the way we play, spends a lot of time in the trams. And Yaku, both in terms of line breaks, carrying, is actually devastating in the middle of the field. Plays probably that guy who plays most naturally to the ball in the squad. And if he wasn't playing 6, there isn't a sort of natural 6 there. My feeling strongly is future's at 6. I know he's experienced 8, and you might even see that. He might scrum a few times at the back of our scrum as an 8, but we want him playing between the 15s rather than the trams.
John, your 108s, does that help your lineouts? I know what's going to come in terms of balls.
Yeah, it's a factor, and also his speed, and as I say, it suits our style. He's very, very good, like Sia, and he's very, very good in those in the wide channels, which is where the 8s tend to be with us. So the lineouts, if we had, let's say, Trocky wasn't fit to start, but if you had Trocky and Yaku starting in his lineout like this, we'd be under a bit more pressure than with some of our hands. It's a fair point.
Just on that, the loose trio, there were quite a lot of guys who could step in. What do you make of the combination there, and how do you see second half sort of when you sub the guys, how that would work out?
Yeah, look, I think it's a really good balanced conversation. He's played 7 a lot of his time, played a bit of time at 5. I think his natural position is 8. It's his style. He's really good with kick return, kick chase, really good in the wide channel, skilled, real speed. If you're out wide, they're chasing a kick or working backwards. Speed's important. So he's a natural 8. To me, Yaku's a 6 and Peter Steph's 7. It's a well balanced loose trio. Trocky wasn't, he's back. It's a long-term injury. So he's only cleared he's less than a half. So Trocky will come on at 8 definitely, because I think he's going to be he's a massive future at 8. He's going to be a star as an 8th man. And then Ernst there is pretty much to cover, assuming either Yaku blows or Peter Steph never blows. I feel like Frans blow. He doesn't blow, but let's say there's an injury or something. Ernst just trade for 6 and 7 now.
And Corbis, if need be,
he'll come as lock. He's covering lock. If all 3 guys get rinderpest or get injured or something like that, then Corbis will come with a loose forward. But
where do you see Corbis' future?
Because it's tricky to pigeonhole. I mean, it's funny how the positions are sort of getting similar and similar, if that's right in English. 6 and 8 are sort of reasonably interchangeable, back to the days of Luke Watson and Skalkberg even, and then 7 and 4 like a Reinhard Alstead. I suspect a 4. I think he's got so big now, and 7 takes a bit of softer skills on defence and agility, which is stuff that he's still got to work on. I don't know what his weight is now front, but he's 120 something. He's a big boy. So I would tend to say 4, but he could do a job at 7.
Frans, your 100 came at Newlands against the old enemy, the Derby. This is the last time played at Newlands. What's your thoughts on it?
Yes, hello guys. It's obviously special for me. I just told Mike, media guy, you all know, there's nothing being said about the 100. Let's keep it that way. I'm going to stay out on the field and do some extra syncoty to do the media conference. But it is special for me. But that's the last thing, in the build-up. And if you take in terms of the game, the individual stuff, that's the last on the priority list.
And just in terms of the Bulls back, they've got a strong front row, the challenge that they want.
I think it's not only a strong front row, I think it's a strong back. Dan Iman, very respected scrumming coach. Since his days at the Cheetahs, now I think it's his 2nd season at the Bulls. He's gotten great results. And the individuals as well. There's big players, as you all know, and very good scrummagers. But we'll look up for it on Saturday.
Frans, I know you said you don't want to make it a big thing, but 100 at Newlands, that doesn't come to any guy, especially being a Cape Town guy, where you had, I would think that you have had offers from overseas, but getting to play in that 100 with your friends, family must be something that
Yeah,
only you
it's
can
very
dream of.
special, you know. It's the last year at Newlands as well. It's probably much bigger than any cap I can get. But yeah, it's very special. I don't think a lot of the guys that has played 100 has played it at Newlands. I think Sia played it at Newlands.
See you against the Bulls.
Sia against the Bulls as well. It's obviously nothing. It's you can't control it. It's not in your hands. But if it works out like this, it's absolute bonus.
But just in terms of, I don't know if you could get anything out of the Bulls game against the Sharks. And there were a lot of things in that game, but what do you prepare for?
I think we got definitely there's a scrum battle coming up. There's a lot of pride between excellent props. It's funny that the first time I saw France play rugby was 10 years ago, and it was exactly the same front row that's playing tomorrow. On Saturday, Kid C, Scurra and France. There's a picture on Chippy's wall from 2010 up there now. It's remarkable that three guys, careers go so far and fast. 10 years later, they're still playing in the same team. Anyway, no, the front row expect Morne obviously to try and use a lot of territory. And we're aware that they'll probably want to lure us into some form of kicking game, where if we don't kick accurately back, that back three is electric. Spekies and Cornell and Geland. So we expect them to try and lure us into a kicking game, and that's what we planned around.
But also, if someone like Mani Libok comes on in the second half, we saw how they can run the ball.
Oh yes, I mean if Imbros and Mani are on together 9 and 10, that changes how we would defend. Let's say with Ivan and Morne, we know how we're going to change, but we'd have to change how we defend. Yeah.
France, what would you like to still achieve with the Stormers? I mean, you've been around for a long time now, and you've had some successes as well. You can look back on some really good games. I mean, what is this for you that you would still like to do?
Yeah, Stephen, as I said earlier, the individual stuff, comes afterwards. It's while I'm here and while I'm, granted the opportunity to play rugby in Cape Town, I'd like to make a difference and contribute. It's probably a bit cliche, but to be successful, to be the Stormers, to be successful again, contribute to that. And some of the guys when I started, some of the seniors always said, you must leave the place better than what you got it or how you arrived here. So mainly for me is to contribute to a successful Stormers team and campaigns again.
And in terms of where you are in your Springbok career, I mean, you've really, I know you speak the collective, but you've really had a good place in your career. You've really cemented yourself in the Bok team. I mean, do you feel you kind of playing the last year has really been a big step up for you as well, playing the best rugby of your career?
Well, Stephen, I think as good as myself that if you don't perform, the Bok jersey is never a given. If you don't perform, you're out. So I think what's important there is to play well in Super Rugby, and then that stuff will take care of itself. That's almost I see it as a result of Super Rugby. Super Rugby flows into the test matches. That's my opinion on that.
Are you also in the same zone as a lot of players as from now already that the Lions tour is a big drive?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's in a year and a half, probably less. But as I said, you can't really look too far ahead. There's a lot that must happen, in between. But yeah, it's obviously the next big thing on international terms.
Dobber, Jean-Luc on the bench this week. Is that mainly to have backup? What's the reason for the move?
He wasn't 100% fit last week, but I think we ran a slight risk last week, and it would be a bigger risk today with the Bulls kicking game if Damien got injured, that you'd end up with Dylan probably at 10 and Sergio at 15, and you might thrill, but you're not going to win the territory game like that. So we need to be more secure on that.
Just your thoughts on how Damien's progressed in terms of the kicking game, tactically managing the game, and how he's placed to kind of fare this weekend?
No, just laughing because we just had words outside. No, I mean I thought like it's superhero. Even last week, I think his awareness of space in the backfield is growing exponentially. I feel like I think there's still opportunity for him to be perhaps a bit more clinical when he's got the ball in hand. You don't necessarily want your fly off and a structured player going off piste, but generally we've won every it's only 2 games, but both games this year we've dominated territorially. So I'm happy with the direction he's going, because it's much more mature than it was, say, 2 years ago. And to be fair to the kid, he spent all of last year trying to compete at 15, played for the Springboks at 15, and that was his out and out position. So I think the start is good.
Would Damien also be back up in the centre position?
No, I think that just for this week, Jean-Luc will cover 12,
Okay.
and then Damien obviously covers 15. You know what I mean, if Liga cut out.
Frans, the Bulls haven't won here for a very, very long time. I mean, do you expect something like that to be a big motivator for them to use that?
Definitely, I think so, especially them not getting the result last week as well. I think that contributes to that as well. But for us, we at Newlands, we know they never, the previous games you said they didn't get the result. It wasn't an easy game. It's always, tough. The Bulls are always up for it. It's always personal. And I won't say we were lucky, but it's gonna be tough Saturday. It will definitely add to their motivation to get the result.
Dobber mentioned that Sia drove a lot of the in terms of last year at Newlands and how important it is to the guys. Is that the same still, that you guys are still, even with Sia not being on the team?
Definitely. I think it's a general feeling in the whole squad, from management through to players. I don't think it's just Sia that drove it. I think everyone, it's a shared feeling amongst the whole group.
All right, all good. Thank you very much.